Welcome back to the Ask Johnny channel. Science! Yeah, that's right, science! Is it taking things seriously out there, or is it just bloody ignoring things that should be looked into and looking into things that should be ignored?
Man, as the dominant species of life on Earth, would be extinct within a year.
G'day Johnny, we got a ripping letter here. This is from Fender Bender in Scotland. Alright everybody up there in Scotland, keep watching us for Christ's sake, especially Fender Bender. But Johnny, Fender Bender asks, Johnny, your last hard-hitting expose on mainstream science and its stuffy, unimaginative view of the painfully obvious led me to ask, is science letting us down, Johnny? Signed, Fender Bender in Scotland. Thanks, Fender Bender. Johnny, is science letting us down? Yeah, science letting us down. Well, science has bloody given us some bloody great things, Johnny, over the years. But Johnny, what are they letting us down with? I sometimes think, Johnny, if we spent just as much time looking for cancer or a cure for cancer as we do looking for quarks and subatomic particles in that bloody particle accelerator, we would have had a bloody cure for cancer 55 years ago.
The most powerful place on Earth is tucked away inside of a network of underground tunnels that belong to the world's largest particle accelerator. It's called the Large Hadron Collider, and this machine takes some of the smallest particles known to man and collides them at speeds of 99.9999% the speed of light. To understand how the LHC works, you can break it down into three components that act like its body, brain, and heart. The body is the underground tunnels that form a giant circle that's 17 miles around. Physicists actually ride bikes to get to different parts of the machine. Inside these tunnels is an environment so empty it's similar to what you'd find in the vacuum of outer space. And that's just the way physicists like it, because they need it to be completely empty so they know exactly what they're looking at when they start smashing particles together in the most energetic game of bumper cars imaginable.
We as a society have to evaluate.
Well, that's an interesting question. Do you know how much money has been dumped into the Large Hadron Collider to date, or into CERN, and who pays for all that?
So, I think it's a consortium. So CERN, which is the consortium of countries, was actually an outgrowth of UNESCO. So it was created shortly after the end of World War II. And it was a consortium of European countries that do it.
Well, that's an interesting question. Do you know how much money has been dumped into the Large Hadron Collider?
The idea is that science could be this unifying endeavor. That, there's a truth to science that would transcend political differences and opinions and things like that. Yeah.
I was just going to ask you, how much of this money does the U.S. How much input does the U.S. have, financially, into this?
I'm not sure how much, but it's, they contribute a certain amount of money, for their students to go and to work there.
Who makes these bloody decisions? Yeah, we'll spend all that money on there. You need money over there for medical research. Sorry, we're gonna go smashing bloody little particles of light. What? Well, it's bloody time they spent their money on something worthwhile. And don't get me started on the bloody UFO controversy, Johnny. UFOs? You're thinking UFOs, aliens built the pyramids and all that bloody stuff, Johnny. I said don't get me started. But now that you have, well, there's this bloody story last year that the UFOs may be actually UFOs. And the government put out this bloody draft letter, Johnny, and it didn't bloody explain anything, just saying they don't know what they are. Jesus Christ! Are you sure?
We have tackled many strange stories on 60 Minutes, but perhaps none like this. It's the story of the U.S. government's grudging acknowledgement of unidentified aerial phenomena, UAP, more commonly known as UFOs. After decades of public denial, the Pentagon now admits there's something out there.
Get on with it, for Christ's sake! Stop beating around the bush!
Imagine a technology that can do 600 to 700 G-forces, that can fly at 13,000 miles an hour, that it can evade radar, and that can fly through air and water and possibly space. And oh, by the way, has no obvious signs of propulsion, no wings, no control surfaces, and yet still can defy the natural effects of Earth's gravity. That's precisely what we're seeing.
Well, if you don't know what the fucking hell those UFOs are, it's time we spend some bloody money and effort finding out. I mean, discovering UFOs, Johnny, could be the biggest bloody story in world history. And not a peep from the bloody scientific bloody community on it, or we're going to set up a task force, we're going to get to the bottom of it. No, they just all went quiet. What are you talking about, for Christ's sake?
They contribute a certain amount of money.
I mean, Johnny, if it's proven true that they are UFOs and they are from some other bloody dimension or another bloody planet out there, it'll change the course of history. Do you mean to say that aliens from another universe? No, it doesn't really matter. We want to see what quarks do when they're put under enormous pressure under the Hadron Collider. I think the scientific community should be ashamed of themselves, and they need a bloody good foot up the arse to Johnny, stop beating around the fucking bush. To study things that are of international importance. Well, yeah, there's been a remarkable lack of bloody... If they're not UFOs in them, they must be from China or Russia or some bloody thing, but I've got me doubts about that.
I would say, the highest probability is it's a threat observation program.
Could it be Russian or Chinese technology?
I don't see why not.
Are you alarmed?
I am worried, frankly. If these were tactical jets from another country that were hanging out up there, it would be a massive issue. But because it looks slightly different, we're not willing to actually look at the problem in the face. We're happy to just ignore the fact that these are out there watching us every day.
I mean, so if the good Lord Jesus come down, if he came down for his second coming or third, whatever it is... Jesus Christ! What, science would just ignore it? Or if Jesus come back, it'd cause some sort of a stir, Johnny, in scientific circles, surely. I mean, you got this bloke doing miracles all over the place and floating around and walking on water and everything, and the scientific community would say, oh, we're not interested in that, that's just, I'm beginning to think that's what would happen, Johnny. And it seems to be, if it's a bit controversial, well, we don't want to study that at all. We'll go looking elsewhere for something that's bloody fun and that we can explain. Well, yeah, there's been a remarkable lack of excitement. And in that way I'll get me promotion and I'll get me job and I will be able to get a house in bloody Connecticut and all that bloody stuff. What? What are you saying, Johnny? But if I go looking for bloody UFOs, I'll probably get the sack. I'll probably get ostracised from the whole scientific bloody community. Yeah, that's right, Johnny. So yeah, Fender Bender, I reckon science is letting us down. Right, yeah. Has anybody given these scientific community bloody people direction? Right, yeah, whatever. Well, they just go willy-nilly and we'll put in a grant for $1 million for that. I see. I mean, it's bloody pathetic.
So what you're telling me is that UFOs, unidentified flying objects, are real. Bill, I think we're beyond that already. The government has already stated for the record that they're real. I'm not telling you that. The United States government is telling you that.